Namaste. So today we're going to have a little bit of a story time. I'm going to talk about my experience on whenever I opened my 8th chakra, what I kind of went through, what happened, what I felt, what happened afterwards, kind of what I experienced after that. So it's been 10 months since my awakening. It was August of 2019, and I had quite a dramatic awakening. And so I opened my 7th chakra, I would say 6 months, probably 6 months, 7 months, probably I would say 7 months beforehand. So I had about a 7-month period from my 7th chakra to my 8th. So a lot was going on in that period of time. So whenever I was in my meditation, like I always do, and I just kind of would let my body take over and let my body go on its own and be an observer. That's a really, really important thing whenever you're working with your body in meditation and doing a lot of these different things. Whenever you become an observer with your body takes over the breathing. You trust your body, and your body will teach you how to do everything. And it's your inner divine guidance that's doing everything for you. And you just watch it. It's beautiful. It's like a gift. So whenever I was in my meditation, I was doing a lot of breathing, breathing from my diaphragm, holding it, and then having, I think it's called Bandha Yoga, I think someone told me, to where you have the spinal fluid go up and doing a lot of holding the breath and then releasing a lot of these different types of breathing. So when this happened, my breathing stopped, and then my heart started to race, like my awakening. In my awakening, if you haven't read the book yet, it goes over a lot of the details on my awakening, on what happened. But as in my awakening, my breathing stopped. I had some inner voices that come in that says, hey, let go, and my breathing started to kind of go on its own. And then I was just somewhere else. But at that time, my heart would race, I would say about 200 beats per minute. Like I was running like fast, but I was just sitting there within meditation, like the machine engine was just going. So within that time, it was like that happening again. So I thought, okay, I thought to myself, I'm gonna shoot out of my body or something is gonna happen again. But instead, my heart would race. My heart was racing and racing and racing, and then it came up to here. And then it raced and raced, and it was like a burning sensation right through here. But I was drawing in the frequencies, and these certain frequencies, you would bring them into your body, and that's how you raise your vibration. Different video. But as in this, my heart was racing and pounding, and then it went up to here, and it was like my heart was in my throat. But to come to find out, that's actually your thymus gland. So if you have your heart, your 8th chakra is actually right here, and there's an organ right there. It's called your thymus gland. Your thymus gland is pretty much deteriorated or just very non-existent within birth because of the different things that are going on within our life. The endocrine system, we all know that our endocrine systems and different things are not what it should be whenever you're born because of the environment, the foods that you eat. You always hear about things being calcified, your frontal lobes being calcified, your pineal glands being calcified. Endocrine system just isn't what it should be. So through all of these, the rising of the Kundalini, rising of the divine energy, whatever definition you want to call it, it rises up whenever it got in past my 7th chakra, bringing in these frequencies that I use. I use sound meditation through frequencies, not outer sound meditation. Outer sound meditation with bowls and things, I find that's a massive distraction because that distracts me from what I need to hear from internal. So bringing in these frequencies from here, hitting certain frequencies, bringing them into your body, they will do certain things, preparing the body, uplifting the body, opening up the body to different dimensions of life. So through here, I had this race. It was like a second heart almost. And it was just racing, and then it burned, and then it just released. And then afterwards, I was just in this amazing piece of bliss. and I was probably out for like another hour or so within my meditation. But to go to find out, that's actually your higher heart. So your 8th chakra, what I found through my experience, is your higher heart. So you have your heart center, which everybody talks about, but you have other heart centers as well. You have your healing points here, going through your hands, through your arms, for healing through different energies that you can give and transfer to other people. And then you also have your center, your higher heart. So these things are super, super, super important. There's a lot of theories to where, you know, you have your 8th chakra, 9th chakra, and it goes higher, 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 higher. Not exactly through my experience. The frequencies get higher pitched as you raise your vibration, raise your frequencies, but the confusion is the chakras don't go up like that. A lot of them, they bring into the body. So this one, the higher pitch frequencies come in and then activates certain pieces of who you are, the different organs, different systems, different energy pieces that do different things. Now, what happened after this amazing experience? So a lot of confusion. Usually a lot of confusion happens almost every single time something is open, because you like, okay, well, what's going on? And things kind of pop up in your life. Well, this was a beautiful, beautiful way to go. Because once this opened, I would say the next day or a couple days later, music, sounds, different connections, feeling more connected to energies, being more connected to everything around you. I noticed that I cry every single day at the drop of the hat over something, because you feel everything so much more profoundly and so much more detailed. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Now, it is your higher heart. This should be activated. Yes, you want to activate your heart center, but if you can keep rising yourself and through this divine energy, you want to rise it. You don't want to just go for it. It just doesn't work that way. You raise your vibration, raise your frequencies through this divine energy. You want to do it through the divine energy. That's a very, very vital point to do, because a lot of people talk about, well, you know, how do I open up my third eye? No, you don't want to just open up your third eye. You don't want to just open up your different chakras. You want to go through the process to rid the body of the negative energy so you can make room for the positive energy. And this part right there, that's an extremely, extremely part of life, an amazing part of life that people just do not realize. Hopefully a lot of people do that have had the same experience as I have. If you've had that same experience, let me know. I would love to hear what your story was on what happened. But this one, my heart was racing like 200 beats per minute, and it rose to this point. And it was like my heart was in my throat, it was my thymus gland, and it released that, and I felt it through my whole body and put me into a state of bliss. And people, if you've ever opened up your heart center, you know, your 4th chakra, your main heart center right here, the heart portal, that's an amazing experience, because you feel love. Your heart's open, so you feel the connectivity towards everybody. But whenever you open up this 8th point right here, and you bring these frequencies in, and the energies are there, and the whole world changes, becomes more sensitive, because you become more vulnerable, you become more loving, you're more connected to things in a way that you just can't be able to explain it. I'm a sensitive guy. Anybody knows who I am. I'm a very sensitive guy. But this is a whole other dimension of life that I've never just heard tones or seen something that just makes you feel so deep and resonating with that there's just nothing to be able to compare it to. The more you raise these points, the more connected you feel to things. And this point right there, activating your higher heart, that's a love that's like an agape love that that it's hard, it's very difficult to explain. But the experience is an amazing experience. Because once that races, your heart is literally in your throat. Like, you've ever heard that expression, my heart's in my throat. It's literally in your throat. But the connectivity that you feel towards life, towards nature, towards music, towards vibrations, towards other people, just lifts you, goes tenfold almost. And it's a beautiful, amazing thing. But your 8th chakra is not up here, it's not, 8 inches or 6 or 8 inches above your head. Through my experience, you pull the frequencies in and you pull those information in to activate these different points. Whenever these active points activate, it's a very, very profound experience. I mean, if you ever ran as fast as you possibly could and your heart was racing 200 beats per minute, imagine that in your throat and it burning. Maybe your experience will be different. My experience is just for me. It's because of whatever energy that's in this has to be rid of. Maybe you'll have it more smoother. Mine was very different. Sitting on the couch in meditation, just sitting there, and my heart racing 200 beats, really, really fast, and this beating up in my throat, beating, and then it just releases. And then everything opens up and connected again. So I hope that's informational for you. If you have any questions, I would love to answer your questions on this. I think that I'll probably, I'm sure as I'm going through the process and different things, I'll do more videos on the higher chakras, the 9th and the 10th, on my experience on these actually opening up and what I experienced on this. I don't want to cloud your judgment if you're going through these things, because I don't want you, the most important thing is listen to an experience. It's fun, it's beautiful, it's an amazing thing to share. I want to be able to share every experience that I possibly can have with you guys, to show what's possible. But do not let what you hear cloud your judgment, because the most important thing is not to expect things to happen. If I have a certain experience, it doesn't mean you're going to have the same. Through that experience. That experience is very, very personal. It's very, very to you. So while you're going through the process of releasing these things, don't expect something to happen. Just know and just be vulnerable. Just be vulnerable and let go. Allow things to happen as it should, organically, because we are nature. Nature always knows the best. The life source that runs through us knows best. The life source that runs through us is the same life source that runs through the trees. It's the same life source that runs through the animals, that makes things grow, that makes everything connected the way it is. And it has to, in these processes that we all go through this divine life experience, is extremely personal, but it's kind of a loss for words. It's kind of a loss for words. But I hope this information it helps you, whatever if you're kind of still getting used to all these different things. Just know it doesn't stop at number 7. Don't stop. I thought, researching in different things, going through the different chakras, you open up your 3rd eye and your crown chakra, because everybody talks about, 7 chakras. But there's an 8th, there's a 9th, there is a 10th. And as I'm experiencing these things, I'll do more videos on what I experience. But like I said, do not allow my experiences to give you expectation on what to expect. Do not go through don't go through life with expectation. Go through life not knowing anything. Because the moment that you admit that you don't know anything, opens you up to everything. Namaste.